Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. This is episode 149. This is a very different episode for me today. I'm going to do a review of a course that I purchased. And I'm confident that most of you have heard of this course because it's everywhere online and it's had thousands of members through it, which I obviously have since discovered since joining it. And it's called eCommerce Equation. This is my feedback and my thoughts, my experience with the group coaching program. I think it's probably called rather than a course. It's got lots of modules. It's self-paced. It leans heavy on ads for Meta. And it's a membership. So you can join with a membership, like a monthly fee or a once-off cost, which I did, and then it rolls into a monthly membership fee. I joined this course 4 months ago, and I had wanted to join it a year ago, but didn't want to invest the money a year ago. So I had waited until I was able to build up my e-commerce store to a certain revenue number myself per month before I decided to invest money in this program. And it reminded me that I wanted to join this course based off of a couple of creators I follow on TikTok who are also members of the course, who've had great success. And I thought, okay, I think now's the time I really want to dive into this program and to join it and to spend the money and invest in it to get some further training and to expand my expertise and to kind of solidify, I guess, my foundational skills in e-commerce, especially around ads. That's probably been the main reason I wanted to join, is to help me to feel like I was confident in understanding Meta and the changes that Meta has had recently, and to fill any gaps that I feel like my knowledge lacked from my own experience with growing using ads for my e-commerce store in the last 4 years and helping clients do the same for the last 1 year. So e-commerce equation, Jay Wright is the founder. I assume he's a CEO, but I'm actually not sure, of the program, the course, the mastermind or the group. I'm not sure exactly what term they use, but I have heard it referred to as a group coaching program. And this is my thoughts about it. I want to share with you my thoughts about the course. And this is to encourage you that maybe it's right for you, or if you're not sure if it is right for you, maybe why it might not be right for you, and what I have learned from this course in the last 4 months. I'm still in the program. I'm going to stay in the program for a few more months, I think. It's got a bit more to teach me, I think, especially around ads. As Advantage Plus shopping and ASC campaigns become the more norm for us in advertising on Meta, there's so much to keep up to date with because it's changing so rapidly. So for those of you that don't know, Andromeda, which is the big AI update that Meta rolled out, really started to bite around May this year. And absolutely the last sort of 4 or 5 months, it's starting to really dictate a lot of how Meta performs when it comes to advertising. I've spoken about Advantage Plus shopping many times on my podcast. If you follow me for a while, you know I first talked about it in early 2024 when that came on the scene for Meta. It was a new feature, and I've had limited success with it, but I have had success in batches all through 2024. And then through 2025, I've had less success because my account, when I can see in my account how it's changed over several months, and yours will be the same if you've been advertising. All the features roll out in little stages. So I had some success and then I didn't have success. The success I had a few months ago with Advantage Plus shopping is now different than the success I'm having now for myself and my clients, because already the platform is changing so much. So even just the update Meta has rolled out this year and kind of rolled out now to pretty well everybody. We are all on the Andromeda AI, framework for Advantage Plus shopping. If you're not using Advantage Plus shopping or ASC, then that's a different story. This sort of learning doesn't apply to you. There's still traditional ways you can succeed with ads if you're not running Advantage Plus shopping. But if you are, or if you want to be, then that's the way Meta is moving in general. Like, more, give me control of the creative, build the campaign structure cleanly and with real intention about the types of creative and the audiences and what you're going to be putting in that campaign, and let Meta go and find the people for you. Let Meta find the right person that matches with the right creative. It's very clever. It's going to be moving more and more. Meta wants to move that way. Meta has spent billions and billions of dollars on this update, this AI generated campaign. So we all as advertisers need to get used to using it and leaning into it and getting familiar with it and finding success with ASC or Advantage Plus shopping, which I have been the last 3 months. I was really glad to see that Advantage Plus Shopping features heavily in e-commerce equation when I joined, because I really wanted to learn more about that type of campaign, knowing that this is where Meta is moving. It's going to push all of us more and more this way as old features or existing features start to be locked out. We can't use certain features now. Like, I have an old campaign running that's been running for like a year that I can add some new creatives into, but it won't let me duplicate out of that campaign. And it also won't let me do something else. I can't remember what it was, but there's some features locked in that campaign now. That's right, the customer cap. It won't let me change the customer cap percentage anymore. That feature is locked because that type of campaign is being phased out. This is why I joined e-commerce equation. I was really keen to see the types of teaching it has around ads and meta ads especially. It covers lots of other areas too. There's lots of modules in there around your variable costs and being more profitable. It's not a lot on email marketing. There's lots about product market fit and there's heaps of other modules. But ads was kind of really why I joined. I was really interested to see what it would teach me, and it has absolutely filled gaps for me. I would absolutely say that the program has filled gaps that I had in my knowledge around the nuances of campaigns and the technical steps of campaigns, with all the little features and levers you can push and pull inside a campaign to build it to be exactly what you need it to be so you can measure the results accurately. I have absolutely loved that about it, and I'm so glad I joined for that reason. This is probably the fourth course I have bought in 4 years of building my own e-commerce store, and this has been the best value as far as the best money I have spent so far. I might have shared with you before, a course I bought last year was a complete waste of money, and I have stopped listening to that creator on my podcast now. Like, I don't follow her anymore. I'm not listening to her episodes anymore because I frankly felt ripped off. She was an Australian creator too. I'm very ticked about it. I spent money on her course. I've listened to all of her podcast episodes. I really liked listening to her. I think she lives in Sydney, and it was a complete waste of money. The content was so outdated. And I know it's outdated because this is what I do. Like, I've run my own ads and I've grown my own e-commerce store with ads. I've doubled my revenue in 3 months because of ads, because of e-commerce equation. That's a huge part of how I've been able to double my revenue, is by some of the technical setup steps that I didn't use before, which helps me measure results more accurately. I have doubled my revenue. But the course I bought from this other creator who I listened to her podcast, I've stopped listening to her podcast episodes now, but I was listening to all of her episodes. I just knew as soon as I logged into the course that I paid a lot of money for, that the modules were at least 12 months old, because I could see the information she was sharing and teaching was from what I was doing a year before. So that I was really gun shy then about joining another course or paying for another course after that was my most recent experience. But I've been really pleased that I did join e-commerce equation, and I will stay in it for a few more months yet, I think, until I feel like I've sort of exhausted the info that it has there for me. What I want to share with you though is, because like I said, you've probably heard about it or you've seen it advertised on your social media feeds. The only thing I will say about it that I think you need to be prepared for if you're considering it is that it's a course that leans heavy on ads. So success with ads is a massive part of the content inside the course. If you're looking for support on email marketing, I don't think you'll find it's worth your time or money. I think there's far better courses out there around email. You will need many hours in your week to feel like you've got your money's worth. This is a very comprehensive training. Like I said, I've found it's helped fill gaps for me with my technical expertise in ads. Absolutely. It has given me that gaps that I had and the confidence in analyzing results for sure. But I've also spent the hours in the last 4 months on the training and also watching a lot of their recorded sessions and really absorbing it as I'm working during my, do what I do day to day, and sitting and listening to a lot of the calls and being on the Zoom calls to listen to other business owners ask questions and get their direction. One thing I found about this course, which would be the same for any course, this is the same across the board for anything, is that sometimes a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. It's like if you have It's like when you talk to somebody, maybe, I don't know, if you have a friend or someone you speak to that maybe knows just a small bit about what you do for a living, but that small bit, when they talk to you and they feel like it represents what they know and maybe what they think about and talk to you about is usual or not usual, or what do you think, or I found this. But because they have limited experience or a small piece of knowledge about a topic or what you do, it's almost dangerous. Like, it's almost like you're better off not knowing anything than this small piece. And this is something I have found with e-commerce equation when I'm on the Zoom calls and I listen to other business owners share their experiences and their questions, is sometimes a little bit of knowledge is dangerous, because the questions, the expectations, the evaluations, and the determinations they make on their results and the steps they take are are really misinformed and misguided, because they have such a small bit of knowledge and they come to the platform expecting one thing without the breadth of experience of years on the platform in advertising, which obviously I have got, and coaches in the program obviously have too. That's how they coach small businesses. But some business owners then throw up their hands and give away the whole idea altogether. So I heard one, I don't know who it was, but some random person on a Zoom call who mentioned that they didn't know it didn't work anymore. Ads didn't work for them anymore, and they're just so frustrated because they just can't get it working, and it's just not going to be any good for them, and it's never worked for them before, and that's why they're not going to bother anymore. But in actually looking through their data, the coach encouraged them that their results are actually very good. They're actually just not spending enough every day to see the results. But the person was just not, the business owner had blocked that out. They were not open to that feedback whatsoever, and their mind was on a different tangent about Meta and the conspiracies of it, and we all want to be right, don't we, often? Like, hey, in business, and that's one of our pitfalls, I find. That's like something I feel like we need to be constantly aware of as business owners, is not to look for us to be right and actually look for the solution. So don't go into a question or a problem trying to prove what you feel is actually correct. Go and look at the data and let the data guide you, and look at the platform and what the platform's doing and the bigger picture. Like, it can be very easy, I feel, as business owners, and this is one of my experiences in the course, is watching other business owners, and I can see that their tiny piece of knowledge is kind of coloring everything. Oh, ads just don't work. Social media doesn't work. Email doesn't work. And they get mad because they want to be right about how it doesn't work for them. But actually, it does work. There are 1,000 things you need to know about Meta in advertising, and you cannot make blanket statements about the platform on 10 things that you know about it when there's 1,000 things that you could learn, which will be different in 3 months' time. Which is why I'm staying in the program for longer, because of how quickly Andromeda and the AI updates, or the AI, I guess, offering from Meta, how quickly it's learning and how quickly the results are changing. It's mind blowing. And so, even if I felt like a month ago I had learned all I could, and I can probably take my business now forward with what I have learned, and continue to grow to the next level before I look at another course, I'm staying in the course a bit longer because of the knowledge it gives on how Meta is performing today. And that's why I found the course worthwhile. But I would only say that if you are interested in learning about ads for yourself, and you have many, many hours a week to dedicate to that craft, then you will find it worthwhile. If you feel like you don't know much about ads, but you maybe would like to learn a little bit, then I worry a course like this will help you, will actually paralyze you more, because if you haven't got the time to dedicate to it, you're just not going to get through the content. And there's so many questions you're going to have every step of the way, every time you build a campaign. So many levers you can pull, so many different things you can do, so many ways to interpret results. Each coach has something different to share. So you need to not pick a coach, but as if you're in a program like this, or if you're in e-commerce equation or considering it or have seen it and wondering about it, then watch some of the recordings and see which coach resonates with you the best, because there are many ways to win. Hey, you're growing a business. Like, we know this for ourselves, and you know this, I know this, we all know this in business, because everybody in the world who's building a business are not doing it identically. That's why we go into business. That's why we want to build a business, to do it our way, like to do it unique to us and what we value and what we love about it. And it's the same to watch the coaching sort of Zoom calls and listen to coaches talk to other business owners. Each coach has a different style, and there are many ways to win with ads, especially with ads. This program is ads heavy. So if you do not have the many hours in your week or your month to dedicate to learning the craft of ads and really diving deep into it, because if you only go surface level, I'm confident, I can tell you with confidence, you'll get frustrated with it and you'll bounce from the program, and you'll probably feel like it was a waste of money and ads don't work for you. And you may not go back to Meta after that because you'll be really frustrated with it and you won't be able to work it out. It won't make sense and you'll be hitting roadblock against roadblock against roadblock. But if you come at it with an open mind and be willing to learn and not be right, but be willing to absorb so much information and then test and try all of it to see what makes sense for you and your business and what results land and why they land and what results don't land and why they don't work, then I suggest you join. I think you'll find it worthwhile. And am I shooting myself in the foot by saying this? Because I run ads for people. I don't think so. I'm much more of an abundance mindset. You may have been in this program before. It's been around for a few years and you may have found it frustrating or that it didn't work for you, but that potentially could be because you didn't have the hundreds of hours to dedicate to it over several months to learn all the content. If that's you, come and reach out to me and let me look at your ad account for you, because I'm confident in the skills that they teach and the foundations, the technical expertise that they share, and the up-to-date market data or market nuances they share on Meta. I'm confident that that is well informed and it's accurate. I've found that for myself. Like I said, I have doubled my revenue in 3 months because of this program, or largely because of this program, largely because of how it's helped me with ads and be far more ruthless with my ads and also a little riskier with my ads. And I've seen the growth from it for sure. So I would encourage you to reach out to me if you struggled with e-commerce equation or even another course that's taught you ads before and the content was just overwhelming. It paralyzed you and then you either got stuck and shelved it, or you tried a little bit and you judged and evaluated the whole platform and everything on that small bit of experience you had. Come and speak to me. Book yourself a discovery call. Let me talk you through it. Let me work through your account using some of the technical foundational skills that this program has taught me, and get ads working again for you. That's generally what I encourage you to do. If you're thinking about joining and you've got the time and you want to learn about ads, then go ahead and do it. But remember, running ads is not just a hobby. Running ads is not like finding a new product to add to your website. Like, it's not that sort of a project. It's not a one and done thing. Like, if you're running ads, I was going to say remember, but this is only because I work in this industry. I'm a media buyer. If I think about the career title I would have if I go and look for a regular job on Seek and apply to a job interstate or something, I'm looking to be a media buyer. That's what I do. It's a full-time job. It's a full-time gig with years of experience and hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue I have managed for myself and businesses in the success I have had as a media buyer. It's a career in itself. So if you're this sort of course or any course like this where it teaches you ads, please keep that in mind, that ads is not a tiny project that you can, like finding a new product to add to your website, that involves some hours and a bit of commitment of time. It is actually a whole career path. And you can find success by not dedicating a career to it. Of course, absolutely you can. You can absolutely do that. But make sure you don't evaluate the validity of Meta as a whole and whether ads work for you as a small business or don't work for you as a small business, based maybe on the very tiny section or the small slice of the pie you have experienced for yourself. When it's a career, it's actually a career that people have in real life that have a full-time job doing. There's just so much to learn, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I want to encourage you that you may find it worthwhile in investing your money in a program like this, but as with every course and every program, it will require time and energy of you to see the results and the success from it. But if you have purchased courses before and been frustrated with it, not just because you didn't dedicate the time to it, you went into it like with an open mind, an open heart. I'm here to learn. Teach me what I don't know. I don't need to be right about everything. Fill the gaps of knowledge that I need. And the content sucked. You won't find this with e-commerce equation. The content doesn't suck. It's absolutely lacking in gaps, especially around email marketing, because that's what I do when I support you guys with email marketing and ads, one or the other or both. But when it comes to ads, it's very robust, detailed and robust. If you're into detailed and robust and you've got the time to dedicate to it, then I urge you to consider it. You'll find it meaty and in depth for sure. If you're not interested in learning about it, but you're encouraged that the results I've had from it have been really great, and then the results I've had for my clients since joining has also been great because, of course, I've been implementing what I have learned into my clients' accounts, then reach out to me and let me look after your ads for you, keeping in mind I'm layering some of the trainings and the things I have learned from e-commerce equation into your ad account, into my own as we continue to grow. That's my little review. Do you know what? I did this episode because I actually went looking on Spotify for e-commerce equation reviews, and I must have seen one or two. I couldn't believe how few there were. Maybe I'm the only one looking for them. I must be the only one looking for them. Maybe they're somewhere else online, but they weren't on Spotify. And I listen to Spotify all day long in the background as I'm doing things. So that's why I thought I'd do a whole episode about it. And I'm not at all concerned that this is telling you all as potential listeners and potential clients to go and join a program instead of having me support you with ads, because it's a whole role in your business. It's a whole role. If you come at a course like this knowing that you are learning a role, a staff full-time role to succeed in your business, then you will find that if you find the time and go ahead and dive into all the training, you will find success in many months' time. Probably not as quickly as I did because I was looking for specific gaps, but be prepared to spend many months on the training to see success with it. Then I'm confident you will. But if you haven't got the time, you're not interested in learning about it, or you have used ads before and you found like they didn't work, and you feel like you just have more frustration with the platform than not, then please reach out to me and let's chat about it, because it's probably just that you are making decisions on a very small segment of knowledge you have about a very, very large career path. For real, like media buying is a very large career path, and there's so many things to know about it, and that's okay. That's actually good news, because you can get that problem solved, and it's just not going to be you that does it because you have other things to do. It's not like you're short of things to do. If you're growing a business, there are other things to concentrate on. So give ads another try. Reach out to me and let's chat about it. Thanks for hanging out for me on this episode. A little bit of an unusual episode. I'll see you guys next time. As always, keep learning.